Hi, welcome to a new Java interview question. So in this question, you are given a list of integers from 1 to 10 and a partition size. And you have to generate 5 lists in this example with 2 elements in each of the lists. The only condition being you have to use Java 8 streams. So let's see how we can do this. Looking at the question, it's quite clear that we have to group the elements 2 at a time in file list. So the best way to proceed will be the grouping by collector. Let's have a look how we can bring that into picture. So if you go to input.stream.collect and simply call the collectors dot grouping by and give your item as the key as well as the value. Okay, so I'm missing a bracket here. Grouping by will give you the map as the return type. So you will have a map. We are working on integers, so you will have the key as the integer and the list of integers as the value. So let's call it as the result. Let's go and print this one out. So if you print the result, you get 10 lists. The key and the value in the list are same, but the answer we are looking for is 5 lists with 2 elements each. Looking at the question again, although we have used the input, we have not used the partition size. So now let's try to use the partition size in our solution. So what will happen if we divide the first element with the partition size? So 1 divided by 2, looking at the integer as a result, will have 0.5 as the result. So the answer becomes the key and the value here becomes the value. Similarly, 2 divided by 2 will give us 1. So 1 will become the key and 2 will go in that list. 3 divided by 2 will give you 1.5. So 1, we already have the key and 3 will go in that particular bucket. So if we add a divide by here and now run our program, we get 6 lists. 2 of them have 1 element, others have 2 elements each. So looks like the grouping by function works, but still we need only 5 and somehow we need to put this 2 in one list, this 2 in another. So let's see how we can try to do this. With streams, we got something called a int stream. An int stream gives us a stream of primitives. It has something called a range. So in this range, we can generate primitive integers by giving the range to this function. So we have a start inclusive and end as exclusive. So if we start at 0 in our integer list and go to input.size, we can access all the elements inside our list. So if we simply come here and do a for each system dot out the printf let's take the item and give it here, and let's run our program. We are getting our list, the entire list. So we are going to use the int stream. So int stream gives us primitives and we need to box it into the wrapper. Here we can now call the collect, and we know that we are able to partition using our function. So this becomes our function. Now if you go and look inside the collectors, we have 3 overloaded functions here, and the third one is quite interesting. Here we get our function which we have already added, then we can give a mapper and a downstream collector. We are going to make use of this one. So we already have given our function. Let's give our mapper. Here we are going to use this one. So we take our index and we map it here. So now we'll get access to our complete array list. Last element we need to pass to grouping by is our downstream collector. So we are going to use a list and simply pass our toList. Our return type will remain the same. And we are missing a couple of brackets. So now we have our grouping by function, same as this one, and we have mapped the input so that we can get access to all our elements inside the input, and we are simply collecting it in a list. Let's print the result here. Okay, so now we have our result 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you want you can simply print the result dot values and you will get the values here. So this is the values. So this is how you can solve this problem. Thanks for watching.